Hello and welcome back to the archive. I'm Marshall.
And I'm Bradey. Last time, we talked about the Brothers' War, and it's only so fitting that we tell Urza's journey as a Planeswalker.
5 years after the Silex Blast, Urza returned to Dominaria after traveling the multiverse and developing his powers as a Planeswalker. Urza's first stop was to the Caves of Quellos, where he was given a vision of the ancient Thrawn fighting Phyrexians. During his time there, he discovered that the Power Stones he and Mishra took was the keystone blocking the Phyrexians from returning. Urza swore vengeance on Phyrexia and vowed to destroy it.
Meanwhile, on Phyrexia, a newt called Xantcha was born from an oil vat inside of the fourth of 9 spheres. Phyrexia consisted of 9 nested spheres, each with its own purpose. The fourth sphere was where newts were born, grown, and completed. Newts were androgynous humanoid creatures that were born to be completed and turned into tools to serve Phyrexia. After Xantcha's completion, her heart was separated from her body to eternally serve as a sleeper agent for the demon Gix.
However, after a group of sleeper agents were revealed and killed in Dominaria, the plane, long thought to be the center of the multiverse, Gix received backlash and decided to send Xantcha out with teams of other sleeper agents to find artifacts from other planes. During these missions, Xantcha developed a hatred for Phyrexia and decided to sabotage these missions. However, she was eventually discovered and was sent to be executed when Urza appeared and saved her, believing her to be a human abducted and emptied by Phyrexian brainwashing.
With Xantcha, Urza waited for the Phyrexians to return, so he could take one of their planeswalking devices and enter Phyrexia with a constructed dragon engine. As he entered, Xantcha followed him and recovered her heart. As Urza destroyed huge swaths of the Phyrexian, seeing that Urza was slowly becoming overwhelmed, Xantcha managed to reach the dragon engine and yelled at Urza to planeswalk away.
After Urza killed thousands of Phyrexians, Phyrexia developed negators for the sole purpose of hunting and killing planeswalkers. Xantcha and Urza were constantly chased by them on their journey. One negator team almost killed both Xantcha and Urza, but Urza planeswalked himself and Xantcha to Serra's realm. Once there, Urza and Xantcha recovered with the help of the plane's creator, Serra. In Serra's realm, Urza learned that Phyrexia is a similarly artificial plane and that the Phyrexians must have been cast out from somewhere. Urza decided to look for the Phyrexians' original plane and allowed Xantcha to accompany him after she decided to give him her heart to show her loyalty. Their search took them to many planes, such as Equilar, a plane at the edge of time, where Urza learned that the Shard of the 12 Worlds, which prevented him from returning to Dominaria, also protected the plane from the Phyrexians. During this time, another planeswalker named Freyles figured out how to destroy the Shard and end the Ice Age on Dominaria, which will be covered in another episode.
Years later, Xantcha and Urza lived in a remote cottage in the Oran Ridge. Urza had become so obsessed with the past and his brother's corruption that he is oblivious to the present. Phyrexian sleeper agents had infiltrated many organizations in Dominaria and had instigated wars to weaken the population. Desperate to refocus, Urza and Xantcha found a man that physically resembled Mishra, a slave named Retepi. She bought out his slavery and had him pretend to be Urza's brother. Fake Mishra's presence shook Urza from his stupor. Urza made plans to expose the sleeper agents by using magical screaming spiders that activate at the apex of the white magic glimmer moon. The Glimmer Moon was originally a Thran base, but during the Thran War with Phyrexia, it was shot into orbit to prevent the Phyrexians from using it. Ever since, it had been slowly gathering white mana.
During the process of spreading these spiders, Xantcha discovered that Gix himself was on Dominaria. Gix recognized Xantcha and made unsettling comments about Urza. Xantcha barely escaped from Gix, and Urza declared that he would finish the mission himself, giving Xantcha and Retep a few days off. Xantcha and Retep decided to go to Koilos, and there they discovered Phyrexia's secret. That the Phyrexians were actually Thrawn that rebelled and were cast out from Dominaria. They decided not to tell Urza before the mission was finished.
On the night of the Glimmer Moon, Urza brought Xantcha and Retepi to the city where Gix was. The moon activated, and the spiders and all the nearby sleepers were killed, except for Xantcha for plot reasons. Gix himself emerged from hiding, and Urza attacked and chased the demon all the way to the cave of Koilos. Xantcha and Retepi watched as Urza and Gix fought a brutal battle that eventually came down to a contest of wills, embodied by a web of bluish-white light between the two. Xantcha and Retepi saw that Urza was losing when his Power Stone eyes were slowly pulled out of his head towards Gix. They moved to either side of the web and reached into the light to stop the Power Stones. Gix tried to destroy them, but at that moment, when his focus was disturbed, the Power Stones were freed and destroyed the demon. Unfortunately, the explosion that killed Gix was so violent that Retepi and Xantcha were caught in it and killed in the resulting explosion.
Urza awakened after the epic battle and called for Xantcha before realizing both she and Retep got obliterated. He determined that he must go back into the past, to the age of the Thrawn, but also realized that the battle in the present needs to be fought. Urza began to think that he would have to do it all alone, but he remembered Xantcha's heart and realized that he will never be alone.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into Magic the Gathering's lore, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with a friend who might be interested in the lore of Magic too. And of course, smash that bell!
Be sure to check out Phoenix Games and Hobbies at 501 Krug Street, Kitchener to get some MTG cards of your own and play some games. See you next time on The Archive.